Want more podcast fandom in your ear holes? Of course you do. Go to patreon.com/podcastfandom to become a premium podcast subscriber. For just $10 a month, you'll have access to podcast coverage of Westworld, Preacher, Netflix original series, including all of their Marvel shows, The Walking Dead graphic novels, and more. Plus, we have a monthly pop culture show called Racism and Shade and an exclusive game night just for premium members. We're always adding new content, and we're always looking for ways to provide perks to our beloved and sexy premium members. So go to patreon.com/podcastfandom to become a premium podcast subscriber. And now, enjoy this free shit. Hey guys, welcome to Podcast Fandom, the official podcast for ProjectFandom.com. I'm your host, Nina.
I'm Donald.
And I'm John.
And we are back to discuss Sweet Tooth. We're going to be talking about Season 1, Episodes 2 and 3. I only know the title to 1, and I think it's Episode 3, and I think it's Weird Deer Shit.
That's correct.
Okay, but what's the episode title for 2?
Sorry about all the dead people.
Oh, this show. So those are the 2 episodes that look at you, Nina, you're an idiot. Those are the 2 episodes that we're going to be talking about. But first I want to shoot the shit. Shoot the shit is where the 3 of us just talk about random stuff that's on our mind or things we think you need to know before we talk about the episode. And we haven't done it in a while. We haven't done it in a while on either podcast, this free show or what we do over on Patreon. So I thought this would be a really good opportunity to catch up, especially since we're recording, like, this used to be normal for us. Remember that? Back in the day? Start recording at 5 p.m., 8 p.m.? No?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The fuck? What the fuck are you 2 doing? Wake up! Oh, but what?
Totally on Instagram. What?
Oh my god! Are you sliding in DMs while I'm trying to do our jobs?
Yeah, nigga, I am.
Mind your business.
Who are you talking to on
Shut
Instagram?
up. Anyway, we used to record at 5 and 8. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, that's what I was saying. God damn it. We used to record, but then it got pushed later because Donnie's work schedule changed. I really want to know what the fuck John was doing on Instagram. But yeah, so we're recording a little bit earlier so we could talk a little bit more tonight. So those are the reasons I thought we should shoot the shit tonight. So that said, the first thing I want to talk about is who the fuck John was talking to on Instagram.
I wasn't talking to anyone on Instagram.
Okay. All right. So, Sweet Tooth. No, I'm just kidding.
That's all the shit we're going to shoot.
That's it. No, seriously. Does anybody have anything? I have some stuff, but I'll go last because I always go first.
I didn't know we were going to shoot the shit, so I didn't prepare anything.
You didn't watch any movies?
I did watch a movie. I don't want to talk about it.
Why? Is it porn?
No, we can talk about those.
Which porns did you watch?
Sweet Tooth.
This is the worst shoot this shit. Why do you have so many secrets, John? You don't want to tell me who your DMs you're sliding in. You don't want to tell me the movie you watch. Like, what the fuck?
I don't want to say it because it was in the Heights and I don't want to talk about it.
Well, you can't talk about it.
What do you mean?
I mean, you can talk about the movie, but you don't want to talk about the controversy?
Yeah, I would still want to talk about the movie.
Yeah, yeah. That's not your I wouldn't let you talk about that controversy. You and Donnie can't weigh in on that.
That's what I meant. I wasn't gonna. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. But
I'm
you
not
can
gonna talk about it.
but you can talk about the movie. It's okay to say you liked it. You're white. You don't know no better. You don't know that there are dark Latinos.
No, I don't know this. Uh,
And this
I do
movie
not know this.
failed to tell you that. I am an Afro Latina. I can fucking say that.
What?
You're like, you're black? Wait, what?
I had no idea.
Excuse me, what's a Nubian?
Speaking of the porn I was watching, no.
It wasn't clerks, it was jerks. Oh God. What were we
But
talking
yeah, I
about?
liked that movie. It was all right.
Oh, it was all right, yeah.
When I
Yeah, yeah,
watched
yeah.
it,
I
it
heard that
made me-
just like the controversy aside, I think, people who watched it enjoyed it. Um I don't think I heard that the movie is bad. I'll just say that.
yeah,
Mhm.
and like watching it just made me want to go to New York again. It just made me want to be in New York.
Don't you go gentrify my home state.
I make no promises.
Liar, liar, gentrifier. Like a shame bell when you're walking through Brooklyn.
I mean, if I get to live there, I'll wear it.
What if somebody offered you an apartment in Brooklyn?
Uh-huh.
Like, what is the prime, like Williamsburg, I'm assuming, downtown Brooklyn?
I was at Bed-Stuy.
Bed-Stuy. Wow.
What?
Do not. You better. I would absolutely might have to not be your friend
I
anymore.
don't know, Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights. I don't know.
If you take your white ass to fucking Bed-Stuy, where I grew up, where I watched people get shot, where it was just, I might never speak to you again. I'm not even kidding. But for the sake of this
Uh-huh.
hypothetical, wait, listen. If somebody offered you a one bedroom, not even a studio, so your kitchen is not your bathroom, but an actual one bedroom apartment in Brooklyn, in
Mm-hmm.
a good neighborhood that white people actually want to live in Brooklyn, and rent free
Mm-hmm.
for a year. But
Mm-hmm.
every time you left the house, you had two big black guys walking beside you, ringing bells, calling you a gentrifier.
Sign me up.
Oh my God. Okay. However, the black guys every 30 minutes or so get to just slap you as hard as they can.
Oh no, I don't want to do this. Why would I want to sign up for this?
Because that's what it's going to be like if you live in Brooklyn, John. A slap in the face to the black people who live
I
there.
mean, honestly, like I feel like anywhere I live, I'm gentrifying it because
Oh,
I'm a
yeah,
white guy.
yeah,
Like
this is true.
that's
Y'all have
just how it is.
gentrified the entire fucking country, to be honest.
I mean, it's just the way it is.
You can't win this one.
Yeah. So like, I might as well live somewhere I want to live.
Oh,
Ring all the bells.
I don't even know where we were going with that. Okay, so you watched In the Heights. Donnie, did you watch anything?
Watched Gremlins.
My dumb ass almost said you did. Oh my God. Listen. So we talked about this recently. I think you guys know this, but just in case you don't, every Sunday as a family, the four of us, me, Donnie, John, no, I'm just kidding. Me, Donnie, Kaylee, and Jack watch a movie and we get to pick. Like so it's someone's choice of the four of us each week. So this week it was one of Jack's choices and we watched Gremlins. Last week we watched one of Donnie's choices and we watched Stand By Me. And the first week, what was my movie? Oh, Train to Busan. but so the past 2 weeks alone have been really interesting watching movies from the 80s with my kids who, in case you guys forgot or don't know or actually fuck, Kaylee's what? 22, 22, and Jack is 12.
Wow.
Listen, I'm old
Numbers are hard. I know.
and
They
numbers are
are,
hard.
especially when they're the same.
You know what, Donnie?
Actually, I didn't know either. I went. We were at the to do the shots, and the nurse asked me, "I was like, okay, how old are you?"
Good God. This is, anyway. So, anyway, it's really interesting watching movies from the 80s with my kids, particularly movies that I have like fond memories of. I'm excited to watch and share with them. And then, as things often are from the 80s, there's some problematic stuff. So it was interesting watching first Stand By Me, which, to my recollection, I think I might have mentioned this before. There was a homophobic slur. The F word was said, I believe, a couple of times.
Mhm.
And when they didn't say that, they would say things like, you're being a sissy or you're being a pussy, like that type of stuff. Um,
There's also like the whole lard ass scene.
yeah, that, you know what? But here's the thing. I'm so glad you said that because I had not considered that at all. And I hadn't considered even like the fat shaming that they do to Vern.
Hmm.
And I've long said that I feel like fatness and fat people is like the last acceptable thing, like, to make fun of in our society. And here you go. Even me understanding and knowing that, I did not even pick up on that as something that and I can't even say it's like, well, my kids know better. Because there's a lot of stuff in there that they know better that I was still like, you better not ever. You know what I mean? Like, but I can't even say that it's like my kids would know better. And I think they do. I don't feel like either one of them would make fun of someone because of their weight or make fun of someone for any reason. But I did not even pick up on that. And the story that you're talking about in particular, the story within the story, right, where he tells this
Hmm.
Gordy tells the story about the kid who's overweight, who's been teased by like the whole town, and he enters this pie eating contest specifically to get revenge. And I think because in that little story, he ends up being the hero, doesn't quite feel like the right word, that I didn't even consider that, like the problem of that in itself, if that makes sense. But I
Hmm.
do remember feeling uncomfortable um, when, because you remember, like when he's being introduced, the other contestant trips him
Hmm.
and he falls, and then like the principal helps him up. And I remember I did comment on this when we were watching it because the principal was like, I remember thinking, oh, at least one person is going to be nice to him, right? Because he helped him up. But then he was like, be careful there, lard ass. I mean, and I was like, oh my God. And I do remember us having discussion like the fact that it's everyone. It's so nasty to him that it's just almost too ridiculous, But
Hmm.
anyway, yeah, there was a lot of stuff like that in both movies actually. But in particular with Gremlins, there was Glenn Turman. You know who he is, right? He was the dad in the first season of Queen Sugar.
Hmm.
Excuse me, the first episode. Didn't he die like in the first episode? Spoiler for a show that's in its seventh season. But anyway, and he was married to Aretha Franklin for a while. Anyway, his character. When's the last time you seen Gremlins, John?
Oh wow. I don't know, probably 10 years at least.
Okay, but so I don't know if you remember, to refresh everybody else listening their memory. But he plays the science teacher who Billy, the son, the main character, takes the Mogwai to get some answers, like accidentally got it wet and these little balls popped out and then he gives more. Have you ever seen anything like it? That type of thing, right? So in the movie, he's killed by one of the gremlins that he was experimenting on. He took a blood sample from because it ended up eating his food after midnight and it turned and then it hatched after class and killed him. And like, It's never mentioned, John. Like,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Billy comes to the school, he finds his body, and then he goes to the cops, and he has Gizmo with him, and he's like, "Oh, I think it's the gremlins, and this is what happened, and they got wet, or I fed it," and they're like, "Oh, kid, you've been drinking," and I'm like, and at one point Jack goes, tell him about the dead teacher. And I was like, yeah, thank you. And then I was like, but then again, it's a black man, so they probably wouldn't care. And then Jack was like, are there only two cops in the whole town? And the answer is yes. Like, you never see any other cops.
I mean,
Look, Jack was blowing our mind with questions during this movie because he stopped at one point because
He stopped
they
at
first
like
get the
all,
gremlin
like when they
and
first
he's
said
like,
the
the
rules.
first
Yeah.
rule is don't feed, our last rule is don't feed them after midnight. And then Jack's like, so when can you start feeding them again?
He made us pause the movie and everything. He's like, question. And Jack's really soft spoken. And we're
like,
just
shit, we don't know. It's always after midnight.
oh my God.
yeah,
But it was
I mean, that's a good question. Like,
it is a very good
when
question.
does the next day start?
Wait, and here's my high as fuck ass when he asked that question. I was like, well, maybe like when the sun is up, I guess. Like it was just
Sunrise.
real important to me to answer this boy's question. But anyway, so that was fun. That was a fun experience, right, Donnie?
Yes.
Although it was very problematic. Do you remember the neighbor who didn't like foreigners? And he was like, and he didn't like foreign made cars. And so everything was foreigners, like, and he said the word that way, like, dirty
And he
terrorists.
his whole thing is, hey, I've seen you talk about these gremlins that were used by Japanese in the World War II to bring down
right.
planes
And then
shit
he
like
put
that.
them, right.
So then in the movie when they're like, oh my god, he was right. These are real. The gremlins are real. Like
yeah,
they
he was like
confirmed that yes,
affirming
these
that
are
Japanese people
what they
did
use.
this.
That's
Which
where Mogwai came from. It's just
I
like,
never got that at all. Like before. Do you know what I mean? Like I never got that we were supposed to take it that was confirmation.
right.
That he wasn't just crazy. Do you know what I mean? And
Is it confirmation?
I think that's.
The
I
way
mean,
the way
when
it
it
played,
happened, then
Because
it
isn't
felt.
the Mogwai, like, isn't that Chinese?
Yeah, the Mogwai
Yes.
is Chinese,
but but they're saying that somehow Japan got a hold of one or whatever, but used it
and
as
we're
a World
using
War
them.
II weapon.
And I thought the way he was
Uh-huh.
saying it, like I told you, like that's what, like it did play to me like he'd seen them before. But I also could have been high and influenced by Donnie, who's frequently wrong. So anyway, so
I
there was
did-
that, and there was what was the other? There was some other problematic stuff in it. But anyway, but it was still fun to watch. And next week, it's whose turn is it?
Kaylee's.
Kaylee's.
In all three, she told us her 3 movies are.
Oh yeah, they're all Studio Ghibli movies. Ghibli. Yay.
Which
I don't
ones?
remember the titles though. Wait, no.
Kiki's
Kiki's Delivery Service.
Okay.
the only one she out of the 3 that she didn't see was
My Neighbor.
My Neighbor Totoro.
Totoro.
That's it.
And then I don't remember the other one.
Castle in the Sky.
I don't think it's Cats in the Sky.
Howl's Moving Castle.
No, I don't think it's
Princess
that one.
Mononoke.
Maybe it's that one.
Secret World of Ariete.
Shut up. That one sounds made up. Like really made up. Say that one again.
The Secret World of Ariete, which I think they just called it Ariete. It's based on the borrowers.
Oh. I think we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Oh, no. What you said, it was like a mix of like the sweet life of Zach and Cody and Ed and Eddie. And I was like, oh, he's trying to be funny. I don't know what the hell you said. Anyway,
I also
okay.
watched-
Are you guys done? Because I have my stuff, but I'll go last.
Well, I also watched the season finale of Hacks. Came out.
Was it good?
It was great. I really liked that series. The whole season was good. Gene Smart's great, and it's one of those shows. It's like it's really funny, but it's also like there's a lot of like emotion that
Mhm.
happens.
Mhm.
It was really good. Like I don't know, I don't want to
What?
spoil it,
That's in
but
her. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna watch the second episode, and only because I said it to myself, and I think I've said this on the podcast. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I watched the first episode. I laughed. I wasn't, I love Jean. Like I loved everything with her because she's just
hmm
great. Um, but I was like, yeah, this isn't really for me. And then, um, and I thought like it was kind of predictable. And so when the thing at the end happens and it goes the way I think it's going to go, and they make a point to like show her get back in the car, and I'd already seen the road they came down, so I was like, you can't do like a 3 point turn here, can you? Like, so I jokingly had said to myself, I will only watch one more episode if this bitch goes in reverse the whole way back up to the house.
and
And
she
not
did.
only did she do it, it was like I turn her arm on the thing and look over her shoulder. And she did. And I was like, all right, now I got to watch another episode.
I
So
mean,
I'm eventually going to watch it.
it is really good. Like a lot of them are really good.
Okay. How many
Like the
episodes is it?
10.
Oh, that's a lot.
A
No,
lot. It's
it's
just a
more.
half hour.
It's yeah. No, that makes sense. But it's more. It's I shouldn't say it's a lot. It's more than I thought. For some reason, I thought it was like because I think because of Mare, I just it kind of got lost in the shuffle a bit. Like I don't know which night it was coming on. I wasn't sure which week it was in. I just knew that she had two shows on at the same time, and so for some reason, I don't know. I in my head I thought that it was like a 6 or 8 episode
I
season,
think
but
I think they hit on the perfect formula for a weekly show. And
mm,
it's a very simplistic thing. It's not like, oh, they're masterminds, you know. It's just a very simple thing. It's a half hour show,
mhm,
so they put out 2 episodes a week. And I feel like that really felt substantial enough. You know what I mean? It felt
mhm.
like every week you got an hour of new stuff. And I thought that if you're gonna only
Oh,
come
okay.
out weekly, I think 2 episodes, at least an hour. If you have an hour
Mhm.
long show, then 1 episode's fine. But if you have a half hour show, you should put out 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I mean, and it really just and it made the season go by in like a month. It was
That's
Mm,
over.
how they
mhm,
did the Creep Show on Shutter, the new Creep Show.
mm. Donnie, talk more on the mic. Okay, so the only things I have are oh, just a little personal. So this is my off week of school, and then Monday starts the semester. I'm only taking 2 classes. I was super excited to find that one of them, one of my, it's a they're both literature courses, but the one that is contemporary American literature is so laid back. It's just seriously like a lot of reading, a few discussions, and like a final story that could be a final paper that could be some sort of creative writing or short story or something. So I'm like, okay, just give me my A now. But the other class is a Japanese manga class, and I happened to go into the portal today because I had to deal with some financial aid stuff, and um, I'm used to unfortunately professors not putting shit up until the first day. Like the only reason I would know specifically like what books to get is if they bother to attach it to, so when you register for the course, when you click a certain link and it takes you to the bookstore, it takes you to whatever the books are that are like linked to that class. So a lot of professors won't put their syllabus and stuff up until the first day, and that's frustrating for people like me who want to plan ahead. So anyway, I was happy to see that the manga class had, and so I went in there and I'm looking through this and I'm like, oh wow, this is a lot. It's a lot, y'all. First of all, it's 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. Um, Mandatory Zoom classes from 10 a.m. to 12:20. That's two
Jesus,
hours and 20 minutes. Monday, Tuesday,
that's
Wednesday.
over 9 hours a week.
And I'm like, but why? Why do
And it's
I don't.
mandatory that you show up?
Yes, I don't spend that much time with my kids. What do we do? I was
Jesus.
like, I don't like this. So,
Oh, that
oh,
sucks.
speaking of
That's
which, I
bad.
gotta tell
That's dumb.
Jack something about school. Hold on. Uh, so there's that, and so like I don't know. There was like part of me that was like, girl, maybe you should just drop it and just do the one class. But I don't know. I have to connect with an advisor because you guys, I think the last semester when I'm in Korea is my last semester, and they're really trying to get me to apply to grad school, and I'm thinking about it. But um, yeah, I think I might be done soon. That went by really fast. Although last year doesn't feel like it counts.
That's
I don't
good.
I don't know how I got through semesters last year, but yeah, I think I'm done. So yeah, so that's it. That's all I got going on with
That's
me.
9 hours a week in
Will you
one
shut?
class.
You're making me have regrets. Shut up.
I mean, you brought it up.
I know it's a lot. It's a lot. So hold on a second. It's so here's what it is. So it's yeah, like I said, 10 to 12:20 remote through Zoom. Um uh 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 so in addition to providing a background of Japanese manga history, this class will also explore how a literary approach to manga provides us insight into human behavior, increases our sensitivity to language, and strengthens our ability to think critically. So, and then there's more stuff, more stuff, and then there's the course meets 4 days a week for approximately 2.5 hours per session. Each session will consist of brief lectures by the instructor, followed by discussions with fellow students. I have a feeling like this is going to be one of those things where you're not there the full time. If he
I
gives a
mean,
lecture, I have a feeling it's going to be like, because with my music class, we only met once a week and it was also for 2.5 hours. But like she spoke and then she would share her screen and we'd watch like music videos and stuff, but she would have questions for us and she'd put us in breakout groups in Zoom to talk about those things. And it was like, when you guys are done talking, you can go. So it wasn't, I don't know. It may, hopefully.
yeah, I mean, hopefully.
It says daily reading assignments average 100 pages of manga. Is that a lot? However, on some days,
Daily? Wait, what?
yeah,
Did you say daily?
yes.
God damn.
Hold on. Daily, daily reading assignments average 100 pages of manga. However, on some days, reading assignments may be as high as 150 to 175 pages. We will also read research articles on manga, usually averaging around 20 pages in length each. Students are expected to come to class fully prepared and ready to discuss the works assigned for that day. Participation is more than merely attending class. Students are expected to contribute their opinions to classrooms discussions, blah blah blah. Um, I so
Oh yeah, this professor seems like one of those hard ass professors who's like, I'm gonna make you do work.
All right, so then you have each week for the first 3 weeks, you will have one homework assignment where you will learn how to do a technical analysis of a manga we are reading by writing a one page single space paper with 5 to 600 words. Oh, that's nothing.
I mean, listen, reading 100 pages a day, I mean, you might get through one manga by the end of the semester.
Shut up.
Manga is long. This is my point.
I have a final presentation, which I don't want to do this, but I will. So you just have to give whatever my final paper is going to be on. I have to give a presentation just basically explaining what my paper is going to be. And then the final paper, which is 30% of my grade. And that is 1,500 to 2,100 words. Should I drop this class?
I mean, all
I
the
I
like
am not a quitter though. I feel like a quitter if I do.
the work part of it doesn't seem too bad. It's just Jesus, like the mandatory stuff, the
Yeah,
mandatory
I don't
showing up.
like I don't want to have to like, and then when I'm done doing that, I have to go into Korean study groups every day. My study groups are now moving from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Because of this class.
That, I
Um,
mean,
I'm gonna do it.
jeez.
I got to get this degree. I got to get this over with.
I mean,
So,
manga, at least it's fun. At
yeah, I was
least
just
you're
gonna
doing
say
something
it's not.
fun.
Yeah, if it was, yeah.
It sounds like
So,
this professor's really trying to make the fun go out of it, though.
Jesus Christ, John! I almost choked on my drink.
They're like, you want some fun? Too fucking bad.
You took this because you thought it was comic books. Ha.
Yeah, you thought this was gonna be an easy A.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. It will be because it's me. Anyway, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about Sweet Tooth, right? Right?
Yeah, another
Right.
comic book.
By Jeff Lemire. That's his name, right?
Yep.
All right. Can I just get this out of the way? I
Nope.
fucking love this show. Sorry,
Great.
I did it anyway. I love this show.
Mm-hmm. Me
It's
too.
funny because I went and looked at because John was naming off the titles, and that's all stuff that Big Man said in every episode.
Wait,
Mm-hmm.
what?
The titles of each episode, it's something that Big Man says in each
Oh.
episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I don't think I
Well,
realized.
no. The Sorry for All the Dead Bodies. Sweet Tooth said that
Ah.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought you said that.
to Rusty, the kid.
Um. So, yeah, I love this show. And John said he does too. Donnie, do you love it? Don't
Yes.
be the odd man out. Wait a fucking second. Speaking of odd man out, what the fuck does that mean?
Which one?
John knows.
Donnie shared it too. Don't throw it
Yeah,
on me.
Johnny, you shared it too. John, you tagged us. And you said it's clear
I
who's who.
didn't say it's clear.
Let me find the goddamn tweet.
What
You-
did I say? I will say exactly what I said. Hold on. I'm going to it right now. Where is it? I don't see it. There it is. I ain't saying which of these Nina, Donnie, and I are. That's what I said.
And which ones are we?
I don't know.
You know.
No.
First of all, who the fuck are they? I don't know who anybody is. I was so offended.
They're from Pixar movies. The one
Okay.
guy is the dad from Inside Out. The
Oh,
other
right.
guy is
Oh.
Al from Al's Toy Barn in Toy Story 2. And I think the other guy is it's like a Linguini or whatever his name is from Ratatouille.
Linguini. That sounds racist.
I think that's his name.
Oh my god. Okay.
But anyway, I was just sharing it because it says all podcasts have the same three people hosting it, and we have three people hosting our
Yes.
podcast.
Okay, so who's who? Who's who?
I don't
According-
think it actually lines up to us. I just thought it was funny to say it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm
Because
totally
the funny
fat
thing
guy.
is, I saw that earlier in the day, I think, or did I see this yesterday? And I didn't share it because I was like, I can't make this funny because I don't know who any of these people are, so I ignored it. And then to see you tag us in it was so funny. Hold on, I wanted to see what.
I mean, when I read it, I wasn't thinking that they meant the characters, like their personalities.
Oh, that is like what they look like?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just like, just the way that they look. I just was going by that.
Oh, you know what? Listen, I got to tell you guys something. For the past 3 days, I've been a fucking idiot. Like, my humor, like, I'm just off. Like, my game is just off. People say things to me, and I'm like, and they're like, no, like, and I'm like, oh, that. And I just feel like an idiot.
You hear that egg frying?
What?
That's your brain on drugs.
You're terrible. What were we talking about? Okay, so I got offended for nothing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, whatever.
Wrong with the show. So we're all loving the show, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about these episodes. And because of the nature of the show, I feel like we're going to talk about stuff like kind of mushed together a little bit. Because again, I love this show. This is the type of show that I feel like I don't have to have notes, but I do just because I don't want to forget like something that really made me laugh or something I really liked. But the storytelling is so refreshing because I don't really feel like they're trying to trick us about stuff, if that makes sense. I feel
Hmm.
like that's been a while since we've watched something where we're just, like, hey, you're not trying to figure out the twist or, they're keeping all these secrets. I mean, yeah, we're trying to figure out where the hell hybrids came from, but you know what I mean. For the
I
most part, it's been straightforward.
Yeah,
What?
I'm trying to figure out who on this show could possibly be Mephisto.
Yes. Have we seen a bunny kid
It's the
yet? Because
doctor.
it
Come on,
has to be the
John. You can't
bunny.
tell.
It's Abbott. Um, but anyway, so let's talk about it. Amy bought a zoo. I really wanted to make that joke.
You were holding on to that joke for 2 weeks.
Oh my god, it was like orgasmic letting that joke go. Okay, so let's talk about Amy. Does anybody have IMDb up? Is her name like Danny something?
It's
Ramirez?
Dania Ramirez. She was on Heroes.
Yes! Oh my god, they always had my girl sweaty. Do you remember that
Uh
show?
huh. Yes.
She was like Whitney Houston when Whitney Houston was hitting them high notes and like she'd get like that bead of sweat in her upper lip. They had my girl sweating like that every episode, all episode. Oh.
What else has she been? Because I feel like I
But
just
okay,
seen
I'd
this.
forgotten that. I was gonna say, I think she's quote unquote the girl, which is such a fucking terrible thing to say. You guys are gonna know what I mean. Like she's the one girl role in this movie. But wasn't there a Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie with him on a bike?
Yeah, Premium Rush. It's
Oh
like
my God, John is like that's my shit.
listen, I saw that in a theater. It was awesome. It was
I
great.
honestly feel like I remember you telling me that,
Yeah,
like
I was probably like that movie was great.
yeah. I mean, I distinctly remember like you going to see it and saying
Yeah,
that it was great, and I didn't go see it. I think I waited.
I went and saw it because Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it was right after
Oh,
Dark Knight Rises.
and was this
And
around the time that he had launched the thing that he does, that website?
Maybe hit record.
Yeah, yeah.
It may have been right around there. I don't remember exactly when he started
Hmm.
that.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it came out right. It was like his first movie right after he was in that Batman movie, and I was like, man, I just want to see him again, and I did, and it was great.
You were like me with BTS. I just want to learn their names.
And it was great because he had that, and then he had Premium Rush. He had Batman, Premium Rush, and then Looper. It
Mm.
was like he was on fire.
He was. He really was for a time there. But she's the girl in that. Now here's the thing. Like I don't even know if I should say this because every time I try to say something about the way people look, it comes out bad.
I agree. Go
So,
on.
so I'm gonna like tread carefully here. Um, so I was just surprised that it was her because like when the scene starts, she's a therapist, right, of some sort, and she's seeing clients, and you can just tell she's like not into her job at all when the world goes to shit, right? And so we see her, holed up in her office for it seems months before finally stepping out into the world and seeing that it's just a free for all and like the animals are out of the zoo literally.
I I
Okay.
loved the time lapse. That time lapse shot was really great.
It was really great. I love that as well. And you could see how it's possible that that anyone could do that, could survive that way. Particularly the way people, quote unquote, live at work as it is, unfortunately. Um, but anyway, in that scene when it starts and she's sitting there on the couch, I immediately was like, "Oh, I know who this is." Like, she looked familiar. And then when I realized who it was, I was so taken aback because I didn't think she was that old. Like she looks older. I just the girl from Premium Rush. Like, it
Mhm.
doesn't feel like it was that long ago that she would be playing this type of role. Because the way, like, her hair, her clothes, the profession, everything about, like, I thought it was. So, honestly, like, when I first saw her and I was like, oh, she looks familiar, I was thinking, someone along the lines of God, Valerie Harper? Yes. Like,
Valerie Harper.
yeah, like you remember when she was on oh God, what was her show?
She's what? Like, are you wait? What?
I think
Valerie Harper's like old. Like,
I
you
think
know.
I think I broke John. First of all, is Valerie Harper dead? No, I didn't mean
Yes.
like I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. I meant like there's like a specific era of her, I guess I should have said. I'll find a
Okay.
picture.
Okay.
And so that was the type of, I should say, character I had in mind when I like first started looking at this woman. And then I'm just paying attention to the
Rhoda?
show, right? Huh?
Yeah.
And so then I'm just paying attention to the show. And what?
I'm asking if that was the show you were thinking about.
I didn't hear you. What was the show?
Rhoda.
I think it might have been. But
She was
hold
on
on.
Mary Tyler Moore, and then she had a spinoff, Rhoda.
And I was going to say that. Hold on. It's so funny because the picture I'm about to send you guys, she absolutely looks like a therapist in this. So this is what her
Yeah,
face.
this is what I was thinking about you. Like, I thought this was Valerie Harper.
And then it was just like dead silence.
I was like, what? Is
And
Valerie Harper?
John's brain was just like working really hard.
Because I was like, is Valerie Harper who I think it is? Am I wrong?
You're like, is there a black Valerie
I was like, wait, what? Did Nina think this was Valerie Harper on this couch? Like, what?
Oh my God. John, go look at the group chat. I thought it was like somebody like that, like a character actress that looks like that.
I
Okay?
mean, it is.
How old is she?
She's like 41.
Fuck you.
She is.
Fuck you. Spell her name.
Dania Ramirez, Dania.
Where has the time gone?
I mean, she was in Buffy.
The hell's that supposed to
Buffy was
be?
like ages ago.
Wow. Yeah, but still, like these pictures I see of her, like she doesn't look like she looks in this show to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, did you see her on Once Upon a Time?
do you remember who she played? Because I did watch that show for a while, but I don't.
Cinderella.
Shit, I remember Cinderella. Yeah, that's right. That was her. Yeah, it does. This does not look. You know what this feels like to me? Do you guys remember when we saw, um, the fuck is her name? Renee Zellweger for the first time in a while, and
Uh-huh.
everybody was like, "What?"
Her eyes are open.
Like Donnie. But you know what I mean? Like her face looked so different, and it was like so clear that there was something done to her face, and she was like, "I didn't do nothing to my face," and everybody's like, but you, that this is what this feels like. But I'm not saying that's what it is. But this is like what type of moment it is for me, because it's like I just would not. She doesn't. Nothing I'm seeing in this Google image search looks like the woman in this show to me at all. I've not seen one picture. Yeah, I see a picture of her from Once Upon a Time. I remember her in that. Yep. Yeah, it's so wild. But anyway, all that big old long detour.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
even know what the fuck we were talking about
we're
here.
talking about Sweet Tooth. Shut up. Do you think maybe they have her looking like a little rough and stuff on purpose? Because like her character was kind of just going through the motions of life, right? Like wasn't that the point?
Yeah, I feel like she looks better once she like goes to the zoo and like becomes happy or
Yeah, I was
whatever.
just gonna say by the next episode I was like, okay, now I recognize her more. So maybe that's part of it. Like she was meant to look kind of just over it. Um Sweet Tooth follows the big man, and I gotta tell you what.
You're just gonna keep calling that man Big Man.
Yes, I'm not doing this with you, John.
I'm calling him Tommy. His mama's name is
What?
Tommy.
Wait,
I'm gonna
no,
call him
wait, no, no,
Tommy.
no, no, no. But fuck you, because in the show they call him Jep or Jepper. So you're fucking me all up, okay?
I'm calling him Tommy. His name's Tommy.
No. All right, fine. We're all just gonna call him something else.
All right.
All right. So
I'm
Sweet
calling him
Tooth is
Tommy.
Sweet Tooth is following Big Man, and this is Jeff, you motherfucker. And
When
this,
that kid started calling him Jeb, I was like, "What the fuck is he? What?"
yes, I did say that to myself as well, because I had the closed caption on, and I was like, did he just call him? Because he said Jep, and then when Jep spoke, they had his name, in the brackets to tell you it was him talking, and it said Jepper, and I was like, when did we get here? Like, when did
Yeah, because like when he starts calling him Jeb, I was like, "I've never heard him call this man Jeb in my life."
right? Like we don't even know that he knows his name, right? Like we know that the
Yeah.
father learns it,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they talked about in that tram ride. Anyway, so Sweet Tooth follows after Big Man, and this whole thing, I was so in love with this show. I was so in love with that very pure, take Big Man, take me, like, oh, that still gets me right in my feels. So I'm so like in love at this point, and I'm like, yay, he's gonna go with him, and they're gonna be friends. But he was being mean to him, and I'm like, why? Why?
He didn't want him there.
But he's
I
a
don't have any
child.
responsibility.
It's still a child, though.
But here, but then I felt like when they're at the train station, that kind of changed.
Yeah, but for right now, I was really not happy with Big
Right.
Man. Because he was like, so, didn't I tell you Colorado's gone? Lasers.
Colorado blew up.
It's like, have a great life. He's like, oh, that was a joke. And I love to think that he got there because in his head, Sweet Tooth was like, is this motherfucker joking? Oh, wait. Oh, that's a joke.
I mean, but Big Man would have had food if he did listen and leave.
Nah, well, yeah, but
And pills.
Yep, and his medicine, which
And his
obviously,
and his candy.
I wonder if that's for like he has some kind of like life-threatening disease or something.
because right now they're playing it like it's to manage pain.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it could be.
It could be. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, the fact that Sweet Tooth said he felt funny.
Yeah, I mean, he would feel funny anyway, though.
And they
Yeah,
showed that Tommy had that injury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope it's not like a dependency thing.
Like an
Oh,
addiction.
yeah.
Please, I could do without the black chunky.
Yeah.
Please. So, I like your way better. I assumed that it was for pain, but they weren't playing him like he was addicted. More just like, I need this to like manage this pain, and, So, I was okay with that, but I like if it's like something where he has, like it's something he needs, like someone would need insulin in this world, He makes him fetch the trash. They eventually bunker down for the night, and we learn that Sweet Tooth eyes glow in the dark. Because we did not know that, right?
No. We were talking, and I brought that up because I felt like we saw the babies and stuff like that, and how they all really looked like animals. And I was like, hey, he's just got ears and the antlers. But now that his eyes, and I'm okay with that.
That's weird deer shit.
Yep.
Dear shit. And I wasn't sure at first because, like, Big Man's just sitting there and you see the light, and I'm like, is that him? Oh.
Let me guess, you're nocturnal too.
Oh, yeah. And this conference. Guess, go ahead.
I was going to say, before we go too far, I wanted to talk about really quickly the narration of James Brolin.
Wait. I owe you an apology. Last week, he sounds nothing like Thanos. I was so high. So when I went to watch, after we recorded, to watch the next episodes, or maybe I rewatched the first one, but either way, when I heard his voice again the next time, I was like, what the fuck, Nina? That sounds I was so disgusted with myself.
Narrating it.
But and the other thing, I don't know if I said this, but somebody in the group thought it was John Goodman. I remember that. I don't remember who it was, but I do remember a comment in one of the live threads when somebody was watching it, and they were like, I like this John Goodman narration.
Interesting. I mean, it kind of sounds like Sam Elliott a little bit too. But like, I really like these cold opens. They're great. Like this whole Amy, the whole introduction of Amy. But he was like, what is he? He says, most stories start at the beginning, but Amy's stories begins here.
Yeah, he did the same thing with Gus, right?
Yeah,
I love
and
that.
I like. What I think is like, I love it because like it's almost like a Folgers commercial.
The best part of waking up.
like a Ford. Like it was just like,
oh my god,
like a commercial, right? It just sounds. Like it.
Oh my god, it does.
It's like
it's some patriotic bullshit too.
Build Ford tough.
Trying to sell beer and shit. Oh god.
I just loved it though. It was really nice. I like we talked about last week that it kind of feels like pushing daisies. Like, and it does. Like that cold open this week really was like, yeah, this was like pushing daisies, especially that time lapse.
And yeah. Another thing I just thought of when you were talking about the narration, and I realized, yeah, he said the same thing about Gus, and I like it because it kind of sets up who your important people are. Particularly when introducing somebody like Amy, who we hadn't seen in the first episode, but we had seen Singh before, and it started with we got his story right away, right? But yeah, I like that whole aspect of it, and it reminded me of things like The Stand, and there was a book series that was kind of like The Stand, like the same type of thing, like a post-apocalyptic world, and like these chosen people are kind of like, telepathically drawn to each, meet, and it's like a big black guy and like a young girl, like I think they all had to protect like this young white girl, like long blonde hair. You know what I'm talking about?
It sounds like Heroes.
Swan Song. You never heard of that book series? It's like I said, it's kind of like The Stand, except it's like a whole series. Anyway, it reminds me of stuff like that, where they're...
Or even The Passage.
Yeah, where the world is, it's terrible, and these are the people who are going to be responsible for making it better in the end. Like this epic saga, and it's just a matter of them coming together. And so their stories begin when whatever this life event is that shifts and puts them on this path. I like that. Anyway, but this conversation in the woods at night with Big Man is like the first time where, not necessarily first time, because he did have that moment where he's like, what if he was wrong? But this is like, now the difference is like, not what if he was wrong, but what if he just lied? Where he's like, so, where are all the fires that my dad told me about? And Big Man starts to like, be like, like he's realizing that this kid is on the path to like learning some stuff.
Yeah, and I loved, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but like the same thing happened when he's talking to the Rusty.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "This ain't the fucking book. This rabbit looks like shit."
Is that rabbit smoking a cigarette?
And so then like you can see the wheels turning in his head. It was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, have you ever
Mm-hmm.
seen any fires?
Yep.
So he's like,
Um,
my dad's a liar.
and that is like an important distinction, right? Like last episode, it was like, what if he was wrong? Which is natural too, right? Like when you get older, you hit a
Yeah, he
certain age,
doesn't
you
see
start
it
to
as like he doesn't.
question.
Yeah, he doesn't know what a lie is. He just at this like him saying what if he was wrong? Like he was just mistaken and not so much lying.
Now
He
he's
just didn't know.
now he's realizing that no, this is like why would he say that? This is like a
Right, because
big
he
thing to
doesn't
not
even because
exist.
it comes in later when he wants to dress up and disguise himself. He doesn't like he says, "Hey, you need
Yeah,
to fake it" and all stuff, but he doesn't know what that means.
yeah. Okay, we go back to. I mean, I guess he didn't plan on dying when he did. Most people don't, but still, it's like how prepared or unprepared did you have this kid? Um, and then he eats all of Big Man's food, including his pills. Ah! Oh my god! When he tried to, did he like find one like in his clothes or
It
something?
was just like his backpack was spilled over, and it was just like one can of food and one candy bar, and that.
It was like a deer got into his food at night.
I mean, yeah, it was like that.
But you know what I mean? Like it was just so messy and you know what I mean? It wasn't like a kid who would know to like I don't know maybe throw wrappers away. This looked like an animal just got into his stuff and passed the fuck out. Oh. And there he's really pissed until he realizes uh Sweet Tooth can smell food, and suddenly it's like this fuck. How did he not see this cliffside manor with a fucking waterfall next to it? How did he
And
not
I
see
felt like
that
they were
until
right by his
Sweet Tooth
bus. So like
pointed
this
to it?
is like isn't that how it played? Like they were right by the bus
Oh, I don't remember if the bus was nearby.
because it's okay. I can't remember if they maybe it was later then, or no. I thought that was right after the bus.
Wait,
Remember
what bus?
the bus they slept in?
Oh, no, that's
His
later. That's
okay.
later. So,
Yeah,
Donnie,
they just slept on. They just slept by a campfire.
right, right.
Oh,
This
okay,
night.
gotcha.
So when they come across, so this is like we find out later, like they were in Yellowstone, right?
Yes.
We found that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw that in
And,
the first episode.
oh, that's right, the end of the first episode. So this place is like this was like a gift shop or something, right?
Yeah, this is like a visitor center or something.
Okay. And this couple and their son have been living there. When he gets caught in their trap and he's like, you can leave my head alone. You can't have it.
Because Big Man just told them they were collecting the heads.
But he also saw a deer head mounted up on the wall.
He saw his mama's head.
That was like a real Bambi moment. He was like, what the fuck? Oh, this poor baby.
He was like, the villain is man.
I don't know why that was so funny.
Because the villain of Bambi is man.
But the way you said it. Anyway, so they're having dinner. I hate scenes like this. I mean, I get it. Like the world is shit and everybody is starving, but I just hate when it's like you just don't know how to eat anymore. It's like snacking and grabbing and licking finger. I just hate this stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's the kind of way like you expect maybe for Sweet Tooth to eat like that, but like why is Tommy eating like that?
Right? Because it's like he's really hungry. I'm like, yeah, okay, we get that. Like, we don't have to have the man look like an animal to do that. I hate that.
Yeah, I mean he's like 40. He was 30 when the Great Crumble happened. You know what I mean? Like
Stop calling it that.
Great crumble.
I hate that. I don't know why.
that's what it is.
Great. Oh my god.
The Great
Anyway,
Crumble. saying. That's what it is. That's what's gonna happen to us. Great crumble. Oh no, my cookies.
Now I'm depressed. Thanks. Um, we learned in this dinner scene that because I had questioned this in the first episode, we learn here that all children are born this way.
Yep.
So I was like, why are we having babies?
This 11-year-old kid is like one of the last human kids. And I was like, that's fucked up.
That kid is totally going to be the villain in season 2.
I mean, now.
Do you think this couple, after they leave and they find out that the new babies can be normal babies, that they're gonna have one now?
I don't know. That's a weird question. It's like, you might as well just said, do you ever think they're gonna fuck? Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. You know what would have been a better question? Do you think they would try to have another baby? Like, do you think him being the last, one of the last, would you think then that you maybe are different or special and could have another one? And then if you did, and it's a girl, do you have to have incest to repopulate the world?
What the fuck? I was like, okay, I'm going, and then you took a left turn, and I was like, wait, what?
No, think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
I mean, I get it.
Your question, I don't know, but this question.
Here's a better question: incest.
Oh my god, you guys are so terrible. That's
To answer your question.
Now it sounds like I'm pro incest, and we really need to set the record straight.
We can just move on from you being pro incest. You love to talk about it, apparently. It's such a good question.
It is a good question.
No, I mean, it's very biblical. I would say I would not expect them to be like, yeah, let's have another kid, because of the way that they were going to keep Sweet Tooth, and then, danger happened, and they're like, fuck this. And so I don't think they would have another kid.
I mean, okay,
and risk it being a hybrid.
Not even. I'm sorry. Not even before Sweet Tooth. Like before they met Sweet Tooth, and you're in this situation, and you don't know what's going to the point where they weren't even aware that people were rarely getting the sick anymore. I hate the names they came up with in this show.
Very simplistic names.
It is. But so they're very cut off, and to their knowledge, like they knew enough that all babies, for the past whatever years have been born hybrids, right? But you have what I'm assuming then is how old was he when it happened?
The kid?
Rusty?
Rusty? 1 probably? Because
I was
Sweet
thinking
Tooth is 10.
Okay, because I was thinking like a baby. Okay. Yeah. I mean, would you... So, like, now when he is 5 or 6 or whatever, and you're living here, at some point, do you think they thought, or would you consider, like, what if we're special? Like, what if we could have another baby?
I always consider, what if I'm special?
I already know, so I don't have these thoughts. No, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like,
yeah, what if we're immune to whatever's happening?
Right. And then, like, do you think, like, is that even a thought you would have? And then if you do and you have another baby and it's not a hybrid, like, what the fuck does that mean? You need to go out there and find some other people that might be special, because otherwise the human race as we know it
would die out.
Yeah. And that's assuming that someone didn't cause this, right? That's assuming this isn't supposed to just be like evolution. Oh my god, you guys, what if this is like some L. Ron Hubbard shit? If this shit gets biblical,
know what that means.
If this shit gets, you know what that means.
No, I know. It's like, I know who L. Ron Hubbard, but I didn't.
Like, what if this is like some Battlefield Earth shit? Was that the name of it? Planet? What was it?
Yes.
The fuck yeah.
Battlefield Earth.
Do you know what I mean? Or like some what Baldur's Gate? Wasn't all of that like some religious propaganda shit.
Was Baldur's Gate Scientology?
Not science. It was something fucked up.
Oh.
Or the person who wrote it, was it Baldur's Gate? The one I'm thinking of, they did one a few years ago, and I think Harrison Ford is in it. Is that Baldur's
Oh,
Gate?
are you talking about fuck. I don't remember the name of
Oh
it.
my God, Baldur's Gate is a video game.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate is a video game. I thought you were
No,
talking
no, no,
about
no, no,
Baldur's
no, no.
Gate.
That's not
You
what
talking
I
about that
mean.
movie by what Orson Scott Card?
Yes, yes, yes.
I
Oh
don't
my God.
remember the name of it. It's like
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
fucking Starfighter or some shit.
Starfighter.
It's something like that.
It's Ender's Game.
There you go.
And what did I say? Baldur's Gate.
I mean, it's almost phonetically
You got
similar.
a G in there.
I mean, if you were doing like a loose rap song, you could make it work.
I am so embarrassed tonight. This is the worst show we've ever done. This is absolute.
I'm enjoying it.
You always enjoy it when I fucking crash. You're always like, oh, I think it's going fine.
It is wonderful.
When Nina's an incoherent mess. All right. So,
Talk about Baldur's Gate.
shut up.
Baldur's Gate 2.
What was it?
Baldur's Gate 2, Ender's Game.
All right. So
All right.
your question.
No, I'm done.
Incest.
We're done. No incest. No.
Oh man.
So, Sweet Tooth gets to play with Rusty. And I really thought they were going to do this thing where Rusty was going to be a typical white kid and be just the worst. But he was actually not a psychopath. At first, he had psychopath tendencies. He was like, "Can I scratch your ear and see if you kick your leg?" I was like, "Kick him in the nuts, Sweet Tooth."
He
But
just
no,
like
it turned
reached out to touch his antlers without asking. That's a typical white kid.
And you know, Big Man's gonna have to teach him to be like, "Don't let them touch your hair. Don't let them touch your ears. Don't you let the white people touch you." That's just good advice, if we're being honest. Don't let white people touch you if you're gonna avoid.
They don't wash their hands,
Or their legs.
their legs.
Or their chicken. Oh my God. Where were we? So,
Rusty's a nice boy.
he is a nice boy, and this was so cute when he started kicking his little leg. I want one.
That's horrible. That's a horrible thing to say.
What? What?
It's a child.
He's a character. He's like Gizmo in Kremlins, and they were selling them
But he's
motherfuckers in Toys R Us. Yes, he is. He's like Grogu.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's a thing that doesn't really exist. He doesn't have rights, John. He's a fictional creature. What's wrong with you? He's like a minotaur.
You're closer.
All right. And so, have you heard people say, "I want a minotaur"?
No.
Okay, he's like a unicorn.
He's not.
Okay, I know he's not like a unicorn. He's like a leprechaun. Ha.
But he's not. I had to think about that one. I was like, wait, are leprechauns like half animals?
I love the fact that I made you think of that. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so that was really, really cute. And you know what else was cute about this? Because kids are just such fucking kids, even when they're hybrid kids. When he was like, "Do you want to play trains?" He was like, "Yeah." He's
What's
like,
a
"Do you wanna
train?"
play train?" He goes, "Yeah." What's a train? Oh my God. And then Big Man, we find out was, well, we knew if you were paying attention to the first episode, which I think John wasn't, right? John didn't know this, that he's a famous football player.
Yeah, I didn't catch that he was on the TV. I
TV,
knew
yeah.
there was someone on the TV
Hmm.
in the beginning of that episode, but I didn't remember it being the same guy.
And he played for the Guardians.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
Gators, right?
know. It's like a manly name. He was like, no, the Giselles.
The just
Giselle.
oh, shit.
The Giselle Bunchins.
Oh my god! Oh my
Tom Brady
god!
plays for that team.
So I didn't like this either. Like, why are they making him so aggressive?
I don't know. It was very weird because like he was in like the company or whatever, right? Or whatever the fuck they called in the
Yeah,
last
yeah, yeah, yeah.
episode. Like
Hmm.
that's I don't think they actually say it
Right. But
in
that's
either of
what.
these episodes, but that's what the implication is.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
Yeah, because
like,
of the tattoo or a burn marker or whatever's on his
Hmm.
chest.
yeah, and then like he said, and she asked him like, "Are you one of them or whatever?" And he's like, "I did what I had to do," but it's just like, but he's not with them anymore, presumably.
Right.
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 And so it's like, why is he still an asshole?
Yeah, like I wasn't
Yeah.
asking. It's like, did no one tell him he's not with the Saviors anymore?
Right?
You live in Alexandria, and that's not what we do.
Half.
um,
Tell your husband you're out of beans. It's like these people are very nice to you. Like, why are you
I
doing
know. Why are you being this way? I like the scene with the kids playing when he's like, "Mom, he hears everything."
this? She's like, he's not the same as you. Just find a game you both are good at.
I was so happy these people didn't continue to be terrible. Like they
Yeah,
were the appropriate amount of terrible in the beginning because they just didn't know.
Mhm.
But they quickly became just like good people.
Yeah, like this, like we talked about it last week, but this is so like pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
When they had the masks on at the dinner
I had
table.
the mask on. I was like, Jesus Christ! Like,
That was we were like too soon, too soon.
I was like, I'm traumatized. Like, I don't like this. And then he was like, I liked that he was like he said, I don't have it, and y'all been out here, and y'all clearly don't have it. So you
Mhm.
take the mask off. And they're like, what about him? And he's like, they can't get it, and they don't spread it. I don't know why people still believe that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I like that because like it was good exposition within the plot, like within the
Yes.
dialogue. It
It
was
made
good,
sense too. Yeah.
and
It's how and it's how people would talk. It didn't
yeah,
feel
like
shoehorned in because he said it in a way that he would say it. It didn't feel like exposition.
yeah, like and it lets us know like the same way that now that we know that all the kids that are born now are hybrids. Like it's the
Mhm.
same. It lets you know that oh yeah, hybrids can't get it, and so
Right.
when you hear the doctor doing shit later, you're like oh yeah, like she's probably using hybrids, and it was like like when he says I don't know why people still think that shit like that that the hybrids cause it or whatever. And it was like it was nice because like you said then that changed this family's way of just acting.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like it made them better people because they're like
Mhm.
yeah you know like I guess it
Mhm.
made sense that he's not causing
He
this.
was like, "Does it bite?" And he was like, "Do you bite?" And when he was like, "No," he said, "Then go play." I love that. It was such a dad thing that he gave him the permission to go play. Like he took his word for it. The only thing I didn't like was that he didn't correct him, but I guess that's coming later. Like, stop calling him it. I know I just said he's like a leprechaun, but
Yeah, you literally just did it.
but
I
I'm
want
high.
one.
I'm high, so that's my excuse.
You're like stop objectifying this child. That's what I do.
It's my job. Come to your job. So, Gus hears music for the first time. This is so precious and also fuck you, Pubba. Like how? Like you didn't have a
What,
fucking
do
guitar
you want
or
Papa just
anything?
to make his own music?
He just
At this
starts
point,
singing
thinking,
Beyonce. And he's like, I wrote this.
Yes, I was just gonna say he has been listening to like Beethoven. I composed this.
Dun,
Just
dun,
a
dun, dun. You like
Beethoven.
that shit? What you know about this? Dun, 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 dun.
What do you know about Beethoven? Nothing. That's right, because I wrote it.
He's like, this is Beethoven.
I don't know why we've turned Papa into such a dick.
I mean, he was a liar.
Yeah, he also did kidnap that baby because that's not his baby.
No, it is not. He took this child from a lab.
I told you. I told you he was like a janitor or something. Anyway, so this last week, I couldn't say this, but when I'd gone into uh, um, the Netflix media site to get the photos, I saw stills from episodes I hadn't seen yet, and one of the well, I saw two, and I it was Singh and his wife at a dinner table, and then her sitting. It's the scene where she goes and she's like in the forefront and she's looking at the notes and he's in the background at the table. Do you know what I'm talking
Hmm.
about?
When
And she,
yeah, when he
okay.
brought it in and said, "I can't do this shit."
Right, right. She's like, what shit? She grabs the book. So I remember, I think the first time I watched this episode, I might have like looked down, looked away, whatever. And when I looked up, I didn't know that she had the books there. And I saw her like look down at something in front of her and then look over her shoulder and it felt like she was hiding something from him and I thought maybe her pinky started shaking again, right? So and I was like, wow, that's bad. If because she had just gotten a shot at the start of the episode, right? So anyway, I'd seen those pictures and I knew that none of that came from the first episode. So when I saw those pictures, I was like, I was like, okay, maybe some flashbacks. And at some point, I think one of you guys asked, do you think we'll see Sing again? And I had seen those pictures, so I couldn't say.
Yeah, I mean, my assumption was we would see him again. Yeah.
Yeah, because they made such a big deal about introducing him, right? But yeah, so at first I was like, okay, maybe these will be flashbacks, or maybe these are just like, just shots that from scenes that were cut. Because sometimes that
Yeah,
happens.
because
You'll see
I
the production stills in the press site, and I'll look and I'll be like, this wasn't even in the episode, not from this angle or whatever. So when this
I
scene started, I was like, is this a flashback? I thought she was dead.
yeah, exactly. Like I assumed we would see him again, but I thought his wife was dead as fuck. Like I thought
Hmm.
she was gone.
And I was like,
So
I
like when
told
she
you
was
it was
here, I was
zombies. No, just kidding.
when she showed up, I was like, what?
Uh-huh.
Like is that his wife? Did he remarry? Like what happened?
Like you're like, am I racist? Because that the same actress? Yep, it was her, and she's still alive, and she's getting injections that keep her alive, apparently.
Yeah,
And he mentions going to meet Dr. Bell to get more, and we see that they're living in this like again like the stand, like
Yeah,
this.
it's an actual subdivision and everything.
Yeah,
he goes out to get in his car, and then he keeps walking to a horse.
yes. Um, and so he's related to this woman, right? But they never say how, right? The doctor,
Yeah,
because
it was either
go ahead.
she's either related to him or his wife. Yeah, because he, like you said, you were gonna say he says you're a relative.
Like
Your
I could never
patient is a
tell if you're
relative.
yeah, if you're
Yeah.
talking to me as a relative, as a colleague, or as a patient or something like that. And I was like, relative, okay. But as it turns out, yeah, she is doing work to try to find some sort of cure for the sick, and I would assume, presumably, trying to figure out a way for people to have human babies again, right? Like because and if they're looking for a cure for the sick through the hybrids, that means that they absolutely know or absolutely believe that they're responsible, right? That they're linked at least.
I don't know.
I thought it was more the kids are immune.
Yeah, just
because the
because the
kids are
hybrids
immune
are
to
immune
the
to it.
sick, they're gonna. Okay.
So they're using that, and that's what I took from the ending of this episode.
So we don't think that they care to start having all human babies again.
I think they probably care, but I don't know if
Yeah,
that.
right now I think they just want to cure the sick, like
Yeah,
not be able to get sick anymore.
I don't know if Dr. Bell was working
That's
on both
weird to me
things.
because I feel like
There's probably someone else working on that. I just don't think Dr. Bell was working
okay,
on
I
it.
got what
You
you're
think
saying.
Dr. Bell was working on which one?
It's
She was
so
just working on the cure.
on the
I don't
cure
think she
for
was.
right,
That's
I
what
don't
I
think
thought.
she
and
was
that's
also
yeah,
working
and
on
that's
the
clear
babies.
clear from
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah, but it's so weird too because I didn't even think about it that way. Like there are other pockets that it's not just them. I
Right.
guess in my head I'm still thinking again like something like The Stand where we knew that, or like you said, Donnie, The Passage, where it's like, oh, if you don't live in within these walls, then you don't live
Right.
because humanity is like that. But we see through these episodes that it is. Um, we get a lot of answers to the stuff that we had asked last week, right? About what the currency is. Now I
Mhm.
know. That there is somebody kind of in charge, Abbott, and people are dealing in all kinds of stuff.
But you don't know, like, is Abbott just in control of wherever they're
Yeah,
at?
we don't know.
Like, I would
I
doubt
don't
he's in
think I
control of
know
large
if
territory.
right, and I don't know. I don't. If they said in some way I missed it, like how he came to power, like who is he exactly? Like what was he? Did they do the thing like Battlestar Galactica where you go through the chain of command? Next thing you know, it's like the Secretary of Education is now the president of the United States.
It's like you're gonna laugh. It's like the postman.
Shut up.
You remember Will Patton's character? He became like the leader of whatever the fuck, he was like a general or whatever. And when he talks to Kevin Costner and he's about what he used to do before everything fell apart, and he's like, I was a copy salesman or something, or like an appliance salesman.
Yeah. That's like a trope, right? Cause you get it like with Negan. Like you have these like characters that are, you know, so the complete opposite of what they
Yeah.
were in real life. And what they were in real life is typically something kind of mediocre or weak or, unassuming,
Yeah.
that type of thing. Yeah.
It's totally what, like, I mean, these
Well,
episodes
then I was going
are
to say, and then I guess the world is turns you that way.
yeah, and like these episodes, like the narration says, these circumstances bring out heroes where you don't expect them or whatever. Yeah, it's like,
And
yeah,
also villains.
and also
Yeah,
villains.
yeah. But we learned that Dr. Bell is dying of cancer and she wants Singh to take over her work.
That would, like, how much would that suck, right? Like, you're living in this like post-apocalyptic world, and you're like, oh, now I have cancer. It's
And
like,
not only,
Well,
but
that's-
like,
that's how
you're
I-
one
I
of few
feel like
people
with-
that can do something about it, apparently.
yeah,
Yeah. But that's how I feel. Like that was my thought on Big Man too. That the same instance, he's got something that's life threatening.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but again, I hope it's something like that and not just, oh, he's an
Yeah,
addict.
no, I got you.
yeah.
Um,
I like.
so,
I was gonna say something. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
back at the other place, Big Man tells the mom, you keep him. And I was like, and part of me was like, yes, this is adorable. Because this was a nice fucking, we didn't talk about this, but I could live here forever in that house, right? It was beautiful.
With
What?
the internet.
Oh my God. No, John,
They
we're
had
in the
electricity.
apocalypse. We're in the apocalypse. I'm sorry.
I mean, I would
If
be
you
dead.
had to have an apocalypse,
I wouldn't.
what?
I wouldn't. I'd be dead.
John,
I would die in like week 2.
John was like, I'd die in the season premiere.
I'll be one of the guys who die like when it happens.
John would be like man on the street number 4. Asteroid
That's me.
victim number 2.
There would be no narration. I wouldn't. Like, you gotta, like, where's this food coming from? Like I
They
can't
were
even
like,
like I
weren't
have
they
a hard
like
enough time going to the fucking grocery store. I can't like go to the market. You know what I mean? Like I can't do this.
Yeah, I was wondering that, like, they had that tram. Is that what that's called? Like, that clearly goes
Yeah.
up and down the mountain. Like, and then we learn later in the next episode that you have this thing like the market and there's schedules and like a bartering system. Like, I'm like, oh, are these people like just going down there? It was like, no, they knew nothing. So they were just up there and they must have been like growing their own food and stuff, right? But then they had access to that, like you guys said, the visitor center or whatever. So I'm wondering, like, I don't know. That's a decade though.
Yeah,
They had to start growing their own food. I don't remember if they said.
yeah. When he was like sniffing at that place, and he was like, "I smell food," and I was like, after 10 years, there got to be somebody in there because that food ain't gonna
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not just food that's been there.
Right, right.
Okay, this guy, but like they had cans of food, like where
Yeah,
they get.
it had to be something within the like the fact that that's a national park, and I don't know if they would have over time like sourced the place, if that makes sense. Like kind of like he did in I Am Legend, where you just go out to get, and you know what I mean, when you need to. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I paid enough attention to like what kind of place they lived in. I just thought it was awesome.
Yeah, the one thing about like,
They seemed to be doing okay, and it looked mad fucking comfortable, and the view was amazing.
yeah, I mean all those things were correct.
Yeah. All
Like,
right.
like
So
the
just say
windows.
yes that it would be an amazing apocalypse house.
Sure, like if I
All
lived,
right.
which I wouldn't. But that's the thing
Um.
is like I don't know. Like I still am unclear of like how much of the world is fucked.
Right. Yeah.
Like they've said like I think Tommy said something like there ain't a lot of people still alive or something, and I'm like all right, but like what does that mean?
Who
Like
said that?
Tommy,
Who?
Jip.
Oh, Biff.
I ain't calling that man Big Man.
I legit was like, who the fuck is Tommy? I didn't even like
John
hear
said
what
he
you
said
said. He said. I was just like, who said it?
He
But
basically
the president, also like in the news in the first episode, the president says that they had hit 1 million deaths.
Oh, that's right. And he said something like, and that's the other thing. Like, what happened exactly? Like, people were getting sick and dying, like with COVID, let's say. How did we get from that, like where we basically were? How did we get from that to if you're the praying type, you should pray, and then the emergency broadcast, like that's some Independence Day type shit. Like, what was happening in the world that it
if
was that serious?
if COVID were more deadly and even
Yes.
more infectious, we'd be there now
Yes.
because people are fucking stupid,
Yeah,
and we've
this
seen
is
it
true.
over the past year.
Yeah.
They don't want to wear masks. They don't want to distance. They don't want to close places. They don't do anything, and half the people don't want to do that, and it's like the world falls apart. And that's exactly what would have happened if COVID would have been even worse than it was. So like this is completely realistic. I'm like, yeah, this shit would absolutely happen.
John was like, we were on track.
We were.
I mean, even the guy's name is Abbott. I'm like, is this Texas? Abbott's
Yeah.
the governor of Texas.
Yeah, I know.
For anybody listening who doesn't
Oh,
get it.
Sweet Tooth finds out that his dad is or was a lying liar. Who lies? He didn't write them books. There was no fires. Then he gets tucked in, and the couple reacts to his creepy eyes.
I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, it's creepy.
And this is one of the moments where like I might have tweeted about the show or paused it or something, that I just loved it because I was so just feeling all melancholy, like, oh, look at this, he's getting tucked in, and and it's something sweet, and then this funny moment happens. I loved it. It's so sweet. Really quickly, I watched a movie last night. It was so good. It's
Gremlins.
called No, last night. Last night, Monday night, I watched. It's a Korean movie from 2001, and it's called My Sassy Girl.
I've seen that. I love that movie.
Oh my God! Isn't it amazing?
I don't know why. I was like, you're gonna say my sassy girl, aren't you? And then you said it, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, John! Oh my God! I'm so excited that you've seen it. Oh, we can't talk about it too much because I want Donnie to watch it. I want him and Kaylee to watch it. It's so good. When did you
Hmm.
watch it?
I don't know, probably about 10 years ago.
You old motherfucker.
I watched it on Hulu, I think, when it was on there.
Ah,
I think they remade it in America. I didn't watch that.
I'm not gonna do that.
No, but I liked it. Yeah, like the relationship was nice.
Mhm.
The way it
Mhm.
begins.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
nice.
And it was just like, and so I bring it up to say that I have the same kind of feeling with this show, and I like that where I don't know what's going to happen next, and it does such a great job from taking me from feeling like something bad is going to happen or wow, something bad is happening, and then you just laugh like something really genuinely funny happens, or you're laughing your ass off and then you're like sad as shit. And then like the different, like, oh my God, it's so good. I can't wait to watch it again. That's so cool. I'm so happy you've seen it. Um, I start learning Korean and you don't tell me about this great Korean movie you've seen?
I could swear I said it before.
You probably did.
Because I mean, it's one of the few Korean movies I've seen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was about to say, I was waiting for you to be like, do you know how many Korean movies I've seen? Then I would just have to shut up. But it's really good. I'm gonna get Donnie and Kaylee to watch it. Um, anyway, so, oh my God. Speaking of, this is what I'm talking about. So you have this moment where I'm laughing out loud, and then my heart breaking when Gus realizes that Big Man was leaving him.
Hmm. But then, like, they don't. I like how they don't get an opportunity for that scene to play out
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because
and then
it
even
goes.
asking
Later.
him later,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Don't ask the question. You don't want
Yeah.
answers to."
Yeah, because like I like because he says, "Are you wait? Are we leaving?" And then
Yeah.
he nothing answers, and then all of a sudden they see somebody, and it's like
Yeah.
the topic changes.
But like you saw him realize it though.
Hmm.
Like he was like, "Oh."
He's like he like it was like his brain started to consider it,
Mm-hmm.
and he was on the verge of saying it, and then he didn't get a chance to say it.
And then later when he asked him and he's like, "Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to." And I was like, "Oh, that's going to come up again." I feel like. Um so yeah, these bad guys attack. This is the first time we hear about the Abbott code, right? Because some part of the Abbott code, you're harboring a hybrid, and they're now. I was so worried these people were going to turn out to be ain't shit.
Yeah, and I was so glad that like
The dad.
when Rusty came over and that the three of them were there and they were like,
Hmm.
"Gus, come over here."
Yes, yeah,
And
and that it was the dad who did it.
hmm.
Because remember when he was like, you should take him, and she's like, I have to talk to my husband. Like we didn't see like the outcome of that, and then when she's tucking him in, she says something like, we need to talk in the morning or whatever. So I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna think, oh, this is happening, right? Like they agreed, right? And then this happens, and the guy says something about, didn't he like offer them reward money or something, or like if you just give us him, we'll leave you alone, that type thing. I was like, oh
Hmm.
my God, the father's gonna be the one to be like, this ain't worth it. He's
Yeah,
right here, come get him. But he wasn't.
and then we got awesome fighting.
That was so beautifully that was like way more savage than I would have expected from the show up to this point.
And I love the way it was shot through the
Yeah, through the
doors
window.
with the sky behind it and the lightning
Mm-hmm.
happening. It
Mm-hmm.
was nice. It was a really like artistic shot. And he was using that fucking bear trap.
Bear trap, yes, like a what is that? Like a mace? Or what's
I
the
guess kind of like what was the
what's that medieval weapon?
in Game of Thrones? You remember when they were like swinging around the?
Wait, you mean the Uncle Benjen?
Yes.
Yes, with the fire. Yeah, whatever the fuck that is. Yes. Yeah, he was swinging that bear trap like that. And he was fucking them up.
I love the deer vision behind Gus.
Yeah, like what the hell was that?
Big deer. Because even Big Man saw it. Because Big Man's looking at it, and he kills the guy, and he looks back out the door, and he sees it back up.
Did he?
Yeah, I just watched the scene.
But what is that? So was it like what is that?
I guess it was just an actual deer.
I mean, when I watched it, I didn't notice the things that you were talking about, Donnie. It's like I just assumed like it was like imagery for us, the viewer, because then it's mirrored on the other side with Tommy.
No. Because the guy saw it.
Yes, they both guys saw it.
Yes, that's right. The bad guy saw it.
Yeah, the bad guy saw it.
He put his weapon down. That's right.
I mean,
and Gus.
That's
right
thought.
because you know what? Gus had that moment like Grogu had. See, I told you he's like Grogu. Do you remember when Grogu thought he used the Force and killed that guy when Mando left him on the ship? But it was Mando. And like Grogu opened his eyes and it's like he looked at his hand like, oh, did I do that? Yeah, there was like a moment because Gus had his slingshot out and then the thing appeared and the guy got spooked and lowered his gun and Gus like stopped and like looked at him like even looking at the slingshot like, wait, what? Because he didn't know it was behind him. Yeah, it was really there. Wow.
Well, I'll say if it was really there, I don't know if I like that.
Okay, if it's not really there, are you saying then that it was what is it then?
Well, no. What I was thinking, like I said, I thought like I felt like the guy saw it. Because I was like, oh, what the fuck? There's a deer here now. But then when it showed that angle again and it wasn't there anymore, I was like, oh, I guess it was just like a vision.
No. If you watch it, you see that.
No, it wasn't that.
Again.
Oh.
No.
It didn't. The guy gets knocked down.
And then it backs away.
And it
doesn't disappear. It walks back into the shadows. Yes. Like it's there the whole time.
I don't know like what the fuck that means.
What I was debating, Donnie, was I wasn't sure that Big Man saw it.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know the bad guy saw it. Yeah.
So like, what the fuck is it?
Like, I don't know. That's what I'm asking you guys. So when you said vision, I was thrown off because I thought it was something that was actually there.
Yeah. I mean, so that's what I mean. Like, I guess maybe I'm wishful thinking because like the other, like if it's I believe you guys.
But the other thing that makes sense though, if you ask like what's with that is, I mean, we have these hybrids and it's like they clearly have a connection to their animal side. Like if I accept that he has these senses of smell and perception and speed, then I guess I can accept that the animals, the actual full animals can sense their, whatever the animal part of that hybrid is. They can sense that as well. I buy that. Like, why not? And that's how animals, I mean, they communicate that way. And we're accepting that they're half. Now,
like Batman has a connection to bats, Aquaman has a connection to fish.
John, it's either this or the leprechauns. Pick.
I mean, it could work. I'm not saying that it's bad. I don't know. Like, as it is right now, like, it feels like more supernatural. And I'm like, I don't
John don't like supernatural stuff.
Not especially, no. Not
I see it after all these years. I'm finally realizing. So So they eventually leave on the tram, like I said, and he agrees to get him to the next town and then no more. And we see the Mad Max people watching. I'm like, John's gonna lose his shit.
I was a little worried, but I was like, no, I don't. I didn't. For some reason, I didn't feel too bad about it.
Yeah. Oh, the way it all ends up playing out, absolutely. And
Hmm.
what I liked, especially like the way this episode that we're about to talk about now begins, I like this, and I think we said this, right? Like this would be it would be okay if it's just them journeying and like meeting different pockets of survivors.
Right.
But if the whole world is wearing like animal skins and skulls and bartering in like, animal teeth or something,
Yeah, I don't want the
I'm
trash
not
people.
watching this show. So this
Before
is
we move,
fine.
before we move to the next episode, we got to talk about the ending of that
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah. So now we know who's running the sanctuary.
Okay, wait a second. Let me tell y'all something. My dumbass did not get that until about 5 minutes before this podcast. I didn't get that. And let me tell you why. That it was so weird because I have my notes here. And when I got to the end of episode 3, I was like, where's the pig baby? Because I
The
thought,
adorable pig baby.
shut your mouth.
The adorable.
Well,
That baby
yeah.
was
You know
cute.
what? Way more adorable than the fucking bird baby. Okay.
I mean, relatively sure,
True.
but they're both adorable.
Okay. So anyway, because I'd seen the episodes before, now I'm just taking the notes and I'm like, oh, where's the pig baby? And I'm like, oh, you must have missed it. It must have happened at the end of the second episode. So I was like, all right. And so just now when you guys, okay, so wasn't really thinking about. Then the ending scene though of the next episode is the thing with Abbott, and when he's like, we found her, and he's like, her who? And he goes, her.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, this is somebody important. Who's her? And then he looks at the fucking flyer, and I'm like, oh, it's a woman running the thing. And then the missing scene clicked. And I was like, oh, that's why someone gave her the pig baby. Because she's raising the babies in a zoo.
I don't really think like it was when somebody gave her the baby, but I think that's what started the sanctuary. I don't think the sanctuary was already in place. Like I think that's probably.
Oh, you think
they're
that's
telling
an
us
old?
that was the beginning of it.
That was the beginning of it. Okay,
Right.
right. Because he says that about her story. Yes. Okay, that
both
makes
of
sense.
both of the time, like her timeline or what they're showing us her scenes, I feel like it's not current. Like all this stuff. Is
Right.
past.
That makes sense.
Even the
Yeah.
doctor. Like I'm still trying to decide if the doctor stuff is current or not.
It probably isn't, because I feel like what we're going to see is, well, let's talk about the episode because that'll come up when we're talking about the stuff with him. Big Man has a stash. This is really smart, and this lets us know like this isn't like The Walking Dead where everything, when they were on the road, it was always like pushing in one direction. They weren't like it took a while for them to get to like kind of where they are now, where you have like one spot and then you can map out an area and build a community around your spot, if that makes sense. This, I wondered if this world was like that, where they, like in the early seasons, where they were just like pushing forward. But now it feels like, oh, they have routes and stuff and transportation routes and shipments, and if that makes sense. The world is a bit more organized than I thought leaving episode 1. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So even the fact that he would have a stopping point, like this is a place where I know I can find food, it's really smart. And I just think it just shows a lot about how he travels through the world. So I like that. And then this is when he asks if you were going to leave me. And then he explains to him what a market is, and he sells him on it by telling him about caramel apple. He's like, better than syrup.
Bullshit.
Like, I call bullshit. Because, he would be cursing like 2 days into his Rumspringa. He's like...
They never taught me that word.
back with Dr. Singh, he's having second thoughts about what he must do. And this is kind of going on what Donnie says about this possibly being a different timeline. Um, uh, it does feel like, and I'm just going to say all the stuff what happens with Singh here. It does feel like he is, obviously, clearly wasn't really ready to jump into experimenting on children, hybrid children or not. And
this is the perfect
but
character
as
to do
his
that
wife
because
is
he's
right.
gonna do it for his wife.
You see, but and not just that, like even if it feels like even if it was just about like managing her illness and prolonging her life and and hopefully ultimately finding cure. Like even if it feels like if it was just that, he wouldn't do it. Like he wouldn't cross that line. But like in this episode, we learned that it's that and the fact that like if they get found out, if this thing isn't fixed soon, like you see what they do to people. Like
They
you
burn
have
them up.
they burn them alive. And wait a second, like I didn't get again, like I mean I figured it out later into this, a bit into the scene. But when they were setting the house on fire, didn't get it at first that the man was still in there.
So the thing, one thing that doesn't make sense to me though is okay, he's getting this cocktail, whatever it is, keeping his wife alive for 10 years. Are they trying to tell us it's only for him, but she's experimenting? Like she's found the cure.
She hasn't found
or not
the
a cure, but
She's
she's found
working
something to prolong it. Why is she just giving it to him?
Because the way they treat people who have the sick, they don't take any chances. So she's been working on what she's working on, which they know about, and it's being funded and all this stuff you see with Abbott and all that. But she's slipping him stuff. And that's why, so as she's going through the different trials and stuff, when she says, or later, I think it's him, either he's reading her notes or he's recording his own notes. But it's something they say like the batch number or something like that. So it just feels like, it sounds like there was like progress at some point, and whatever she is, what am I looking for? Whatever data she's using to like progress her work, a part of it at least is coming from his wife, whose name.
Yeah, and then when he is, her name is Rani, I think.
Okay.
But when he's recording his notes, he calls her Jane Doe, because, like you said, they can't have any record of like him knowing his wife is sick.
That's right. That's
so
right.
he has to say, "Oh, Jane Doe." He can't say, "Oh, Ray Singh."
Mm-hmm. So this was a little annoying for me. Well, first we see that he's still having these second thoughts, and he gets some sort of delivery, and I was like, if there's a hybrid child in this box, I'm gonna be.
It felt like that's what he thought was going to be.
And I was going to ask you guys, like, he flips out and he starts looking and he's like, nothing there. And I'm like, did he think that there was he like me a second ago?
Because he doesn't exactly know what she was doing and how she was getting them and all that stuff.
He was like, I want one.
Shut up, John.
He's like, where's my bird, baby?
Well, okay, so one question I had was, we find out Dr. Bell had cancer. And I was like, I get, like, she said, stage 4? Mm-hmm. And, like, so presumably she's going to die, it's terminal. But, like, she just fucks off? Like,
I think a little bit of time had passed. And that's what I'm saying to Donnie's theory that this isn't, like, this and the stuff with Anna is relatively early in the demise of, like, the world. I don't know that this is...
You mean Amy?
Is that her name?
Or do you
what
mean
I call
Anna?
her? Anna. Is that racist? I think it might be. Please tell me that was her name on Heroes.
Her name was Maya on Heroes.
Oh,
yeah, so like, if it is,
you could have saved me.
I still like. I feel like Dr. Bell could have like they should have like had him intern or something.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
throwing him in. You know what I mean?
I feel like sometime, but I could see where it would also look like maybe time didn't pass.
I mean,
And he is just like,
like
I
that's
do
what I
think
mean.
he was
Like,
trying to like, you know, read up on her stuff and do certain like the experimental part is a last resort. So I'm assuming some time had passed and he just wasn't, and then that's when the wife, because doesn't she like make like this and this kind of bothered me about her. She makes that comment like, they're not last, or he says something that they're not lasting as long, the doses, right? And she goes, we both know why that is. And it's like, she's saying, you're not getting the results because you won't do what she did. And that just, I don't know, that felt shitty.
and then I absolutely felt like she started shaking her pinky on purpose.
Yes, I was gonna say to she. Let me find out this is her villain origin story.
And she was like, "You're not doing everything you can. Look at my pinky." And I was thinking, like, serious question. This is a serious question.
I doubt it. Go.
What happens if someone like has Parkinson's disease?
Oh, that is a serious question. Ugh.
Yeah, because
such
like
an
I
asshole
I thought about it because like I remember that Michael J. Fox said that his Parkinson's disease, like it started
Yes,
when
I
his finger
always remember
would stop,
that.
his finger wouldn't stop twitching,
And it
and
was
I
his
was like,
pinky too.
and so I was like, man, like what happens? Like they just get burned up?
Probably,
That's so fucked up.
which is part of, the problem with the way society crumbles at that point. The crumble.
great
Oh
crumble.
my God. The great crumble.
I see how it came back on you.
I
on you.
walked right into that.
Yeah,
It's growing on you.
that's exactly how the writers came up with the name.
Society fell apart. No, it crumbled. The great crumble.
That's it.
Okay.
It's the way
Sorry.
the cookie crumbles.
Can you both stop? Sorry, I got distracted. Kaylee came in to give me a water. Thank you. Oh, so this was so annoying to me too. The fact that she wanted to go to this party, like, what?
Well,
And I get part of it. Like later, we find out like if you don't do these things, you're kind of sus. Because she was like,
throw you off the
been,
ship.
like 5 years or whatever that she's been doing this. Like, she hasn't been going to parties, but like
it felt like, well, this was a special thing because this is what, Survivor's Day or whatever. I don't know. It just I kind of saw her point in some ways, but some of it felt like she just wanted to get out the house, and I was just like, girl.
But this is exactly the issue that we had with COVID. It's people felt the same way. People were like, I can't be in this house anymore. I gotta get out to Chuck E. Cheese.
Parties are essential for me.
And that's like the part that because like you said, I got that when they walked by the guy's house that was burnt, and they were like, you remember what happened when that guy didn't like parties, and then they killed him apparently. And I was like, okay, I guess you got to make an appearance. But then later, when her pinky starts fucking twitching, and the guy's like, gargoyle, and I was like, yeah, y'all should leave. And she's like, no, we can stay.
I was like, what are you doing?
You You've been here for 5 minutes. Like, you can just go and leave. You showed up.
You'll be fine. She was so stressing me out, and it made me like the tension here because you're thinking he's becoming unhinged a bit, right? And I'm like, oh, I hope something doesn't happen where his behavior is what, you know what I mean? Like, get someone suspicious. This was just really nerve-wracking, and I was just so frustrated that she wouldn't leave.
And that one lady, like, that was what was happening, right? Like, she was getting suspicious, and then the other guy fucked up.
Yes. And he fucked up how? Exactly. I'm trying to remember.
He like, dropped something, and it broke, and that's what got that woman's attention away from them. And then she looked at his hand, and it was twitching.
Okay.
And then that's when they started
testing. Fast as hell.
And so, he had to have gotten it from
her. Because they had said they had been, I think it would have been 3 years or something. I can't remember what they said, but they had been so many years virus-free in the community.
Okay, so why? So they only... Okay, got it.
But then like
Mm.
Adidia and Ronnie, like they said that she wasn't contagious. Her
Yeah, they
symptoms were showing, but they said she wasn't contagious. So were they wrong?
Yeah.
see, and I think that would be the other thing that would push him to start, right? Like if you think
Right.
about it that way, he's like, well, now it's like other people are dying and getting
Mhm.
like people are getting sick.
His wife's got feeling
Because if
shit
she
too.
can't go out there and interact, I mean, and like you just can't, right? She can't continue to go out there and like
I mean,
but she it seems like she has to. Like what does she do? Like what do they I'm assuming you have jobs within the community, right? I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. It
Well, we
seems like the
didn't
only
really
jobs
get her.
that I saw were like the lookouts.
Yeah, the
Look out.
gatekeepers.
Um Yeah, and they burned him alive. And like they were just like, "Oh, I love you and this is marrying you is like the best decision I ever made in my entire life and I have no regrets." And his pinky started twitching. She was like, "Witch!"
Uh,
I was like, "God damn." She turned on him so fast. She was the first one. She got the COVID kit out. I was like,
yeah, Addie was like, I left my scanner at work, and she's like, I got you.
she was like, "Say less, fam."
I got it in my back pocket. Hold that.
And she was like, here, you do it. And I was like, what? Why are you making me do it?
My pinky start twitching. Yeah, I'd be like, I'm just nervous. But they had a whole procedure. They wrapped him in like saran wrap and shit.
Yeah, the whole time it was like, no, guys, come on. It's a misunderstanding.
It's like the thing. God. So they go to the market back with Big Man and Sweet Tooth, and he has to be in disguise. So he is disguised as a kid that is playing dress up as a hybrid. And I was like, this is so risky. Cover those ears.
Yeah, I was like, wouldn't it make more sense if he was like, oh, I caught this one?
I don't
Instead of
know
trying to
because it.
pretend that it was a human.
Yeah, because I think some people would have
Oh,
went
well,
after
he
it.
did say that there's some in cages, but like if you, well, no, because you're trying to get him on the train.
Right.
It's not like
You
just
get on the
being
train
there.
in a cage.
I don't know. Is that how it works?
I mean, I guess he could.
Because I know that there was the market, and there's just like that's where the train station was. I don't know if like my thinking is, when he said the only kids there in cages, that it would be a hard situation to like walk in there with him in a cage and like walk out with him in a cage
But I
to
like
put him on the train. What?
I said I like when they get there though that you see there is other kids that are kind of same way. They're like dressed up and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, and he said, "Don't do any weird deer shit." And he told him, "Don't move his ears." And those ears were moving, and I was so nervous because I was like, "He can't." But it feels like also like I was like, "Why wouldn't you just cover the ears?" But I guess that's like, I don't know.
That's part of the costume.
No, I was just thinking, is that like cruel? But I mean, we do that, right? If
We
you have
do.
to put on a disguise, to fit in somewhere, you wouldn't like hesitate to cover your ears or like earmuffs or something. Anyway, I just wondered if for like a deer, it would be detrimental to have like, part of his senses, if that makes sense. So if it puts him more at risk or more in danger to cover his ears because he's a deer, if that makes no, never mind. John, come on. Usually you're with me.
I I don't
You
know.
get what I'm
It just
saying?
seems,
Like
the whole thing
covering
seemed weird to me.
is that. Wait, are you finally now admitting?
That's some weird deer shit.
But like, doesn't there something like with the cat's whiskers? Like,
Yeah, if you
they,
cut cats' whiskers, they like can't do shit.
yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean. Like, an animal needs certain things to be able to like survive and exist, and to not have it puts it at at a disadvantage that actually threatens its ability to thrive and to live. That's what I meant. See, I'm smart. I'm high, but I'm also smart. So anyway, but I'm guessing that's not it. I'm guessing just for the sake that they didn't cover the ears. I think what the show is saying is just because it was too hard to do.
Yeah, it would have been hard to have the
Like,
ears covered up, I guess.
but I mean, it added again to the tension of it. In the market, Sweet Tooth does some weird deer shit. He just attacks these, but to his credit, it did say free sample.
Right? It was like she was like, "You gonna pay for that?" It was like free.
But Big Man does pay for it and takes a caramel apple. Big Man finds he can't get his meds. Thanks, Obama. Sorry. Thanks to Abbott's America. Big Man can't get his meds. And a girl eventually saves Sweet Tooth from some bullies. Right? Is that what happens? They're bullies, right? No.
Yeah, these little asshole kids.
Yeah, little assholes. Yeah.
It was like, and I was like, this Gus Sweet Tooth, he's a bit of an idiot. Because I mean, he doesn't listen.
How the tables have turned.
No, I'm not the one. I'm not objectifying him. I'm just saying stupid.
Okay. Continue.
Anyway, yeah, because like Tommy, Jep, Jeppers.
He did it. It happened again. He said Tommy, and my whole brain just shut down.
I
And
knew it.
like,
I was like, I'm gonna throw in his last name too.
Okay,
But
go ahead.
when he says, "Sit here and do nothing, don't eat anything, don't talk to anybody unless they talk to you," and I was like, "Okay, great." And he leaves him, and then it takes like a minute longer than it needs to, and then all of a sudden this kid gets up. He's out of his seat. He sees other kids he thinks are hybrid or something like
Yeah.
that.
Like, but you don't feel like he's, again, I feel like some of that is just like this man didn't like really prepare him, and
Yeah, it's
I think
not
we're
his fault
still
he's stupid.
supposed, well, not just stupid, but like, look, you know, this is
Uneducated.
usually me on the podcast. This is usually me on the podcast. But
Well,
I
man.
do think that like kids are stupid. Like
Yeah.
he's not stupid. He's kid stupid.
Yeah,
He's uneducated.
he doesn't lack aptitude. He's just an idiot. He can learn. He just hasn't been taught. What I'm saying is, like, the stuff that he has been taught, he was taught to sit there and not do shit. And then he got up and did shit. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, where did he go? Like, what was the first thing that caught his attention?
He like went to a map, right? And he lined it up with the map.
Oh,
he had.
right.
He's
Right,
like,
because
Red
the
Rocks.
woman had mentioned Red Rocks, right? She's like, "Did your mom live near Red Rocks? This just looks like a place we used to go to."
Because like on the picture, it had what's the mom's name?
It was RR than her name.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It was whatever
Goldie?
her name was.
Gracie, Gilly, Betty, no, Goldie. It's like a stripper name, wasn't it?
It was something E. But anyway,
Something.
it has
Becky.
RR on
Becky.
it.
It's Becky now. Go ahead.
It has RR on it. Yeah. So so when the mother says Red Rocks, like I was like, oh yeah, RR was on the picture. So it made sense. And so then that's when he looks at the map and he's like, aha, Red Rocks, that's where it is, right here. On this map I have. And then he looks out the door and hears kids. And then I think he, like, because they looked like they were wearing a get-up similar to his,
Yeah,
right?
they did.
That they looked like they were dressed like hybrids. And so he thought they were hybrids.
Yeah,
He gets
yeah.
out there and he's like, haha. But then, like, they're playing a game that's like, kill all the hybrids.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, shit.
Down with the hybrids.
Yeah, that was the game, right?
snorted.
Yeah, it was. That's what they were doing. They were pretending to kill hybrids.
I have snort laughed like 4 times tonight, and I hate you both. Oh my god.
That girl comes out, and I she was creeping me out. Even though
She was
That's
so
exactly what she
predatory,
was. I
like
didn't know what the hell-
predatory. Oh my god.
What?
I didn't know what she was up to at first, so yes.
What'd you say, Nina?
Nothing.
No, you gotta say it. I'm not gonna continue this podcast. You didn't say it.
Nothing. I didn't say
I'm not saying another word.
I didn't say anything. John, come on. I'm gonna have to edit this. Come on. All right.
What did you say?
I said she was behaving all. I hate you both.
She was what?
I said she was behaving all predatory. I meant predatory. And I said predatory. Are you happy now?
I mean, you could have said you didn't have to say the error.
Oh, fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! I'm too honest. Because my dumbass is thinking the listeners just heard me say it. They haven't heard shit because I haven't edited this yet. God damn it.
Oh man, I hate when you look predatory. You know what I want? Like whenever I post a picture of myself and I think I look good, and someone comments and say, "Oh, you're so predatory," and I'm like, "Is this a compliment? I don't know."
So yeah, she was acting very predatory. And now I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, that cold open. So these are those kids. These kids are like living the life.
Yeah, and like
that amusement park.
You know what?
Yeah.
Man? Like these kids, because they're like playing a VR game, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, it reminded me of Diva in Overwatch. Because that's like her thing is like she's a video game player, but then like that prepared her to be in the post-apocalyptic world of Overwatch.
That's so cool. I didn't. Well, let me not say that because that's probably something Kaylee has told me and I forgot.
But yeah, that's why like she's in a mech, and so like she's able to pilot the mech really well because she's a video game player.
Okay.
And so that's what it felt like. Like these kids are like training on VR.
Yeah, and they're like they got their shit together.
Yeah.
But they're the ones in that see the tram.
Yeah.
Presumably, right? And they follow Gus and Homeboy, right? And were they trying to
Homeboy.
Big man, I'm really high. Leave me alone. Were they trying to take him for nefarious, predatory reasons?
No, I think they are legit good.
Good kids. Okay, good.
But you know what they did remind me of, Nina and Donnie. I'm not sure if you've seen the show or not, but Jet.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my God, yes.
So I was like, are they
Avatar?
Good?
Yeah. You find out they're about to go blow up a fucking village. Next thing you know, Gus is in them streets. They gotta turn out poor Gus, little fucking terrorist now. Anyway, fuck them kids. See, John, you ruined it.
It was very jetty.
It was super jetty there at the end. All right. So, they're gonna part ways, but Sweet smells that nose candy with his nose.
Like, listen, Tommy turned this child into a drug-sniffing deer.
Oh my God, drug-sniffing deer. That is so objectifying him. Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's what Tommy did. He objectified.
Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. That didn't work the way I needed it to.
It's like, yes, Tommy did what you did. He objectified the child. But I was this was another instance where I was like, damn, Tommy's like, he's doing something shitty.
I know! Why is Tommy such a piece
said Tommy.
I'm so annoyed because he is though.
When he does something bad, he's Tommy.
Yes. Thomas.
Use his full name.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas.
Oh my God.
Jeopard.
Is his name Thomas Jefferson?
It's Jeopard.
Oh, Jefferson.
No, Jefferson.
Maybe his middle name is Jefferson.
Oh, fuck Thomas Jefferson, by the way. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
John's like, preach.
He would have objectified Gus too.
Can I just apologize right now to everyone listening to this podcast? This is terrible.
For what? For all the Thomas Jefferson lovers out there?
Oh my God, please no. If you're a Thomas Jefferson lover, please get the fuck out right now. Anyway. Yeah, so he turns this kid into a drug mule. They get the drugs, but they are caught and are about to be taken to the gulag or something. I don't know. And what's the gulag?
That's like when you get caught and you get put in prison.
But where? What?
Russia, maybe?
Russia, I think, right? Okay. But anyway, but they are rescued by those Mad Max kids by Jet. What was Jet's friend's name? Smothers
one of
B.
them was like
Weathers
Smelly Rat or something.
Smelly Rat.
It was
Smellerby. Smellerby.
Smellerby.
What was his name? Aw. Bless. Anyway.
The other one, like Hawkeye or something.
No, they wanted to have a really terrible name. Okay. So do they don't get the drugs though, right?
No.
They had him, and then he was about to get him on the train, and they were saying their goodbyes, and then that's when the guy comes up, that kid there, he's really a deer.
He should have started talking.
It's like, no, I'm not.
No,
and I was so,
okay, he's human.
I was so pissed at Tommy too, because when he stops the guy with the shotgun or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And then they're running away, and he's like, "You gotta get those ears under control. I'm not getting caught because of you." And I'm like, "He's only over here because of you." And y'all were gonna get on the train. Y'all were in line. Everything was fine.
Thomas. And we see General Abbott. Like, why does he look fake? Like,
he looks like a Far Cry character.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He does.
He looks like the Six Flags old guy. I can't take this guy seriously. He looks like the villain in some cartoon. Oh my God, I gotta look this
up. He looks like Sonic.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, he looks like if John Malkovich played Eggman.
Yes.
He looks like John. He looks like that guy in Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the guy with the arms.
Yes.
I forget his name, but yes, the guy in
all
the bowl.
of those things is this man. So you understand where I'm like, he doesn't look real.
Right.
Like I feel, is that Woody Harrelson under? I feel like
nobody would do this in real life, like on purpose.
Nobody really wanted to. His name is John Doe in the credits.
Oh, it is. So he's Sweet Tooth's father.
Is he?
Doe.
Who?
None. Go ahead.
Doe. Get it, Donnie.
That's too deep for neither.
You know what? Fuck you both. For real. Absolutely.
I didn't say anything.
You're laughing like.
I was laughing at Donnie's joke.
Okay, whatever.
I thought it was funny.
Okay. Ha ha ha. Laugh at the black woman. Racist.
I'm letting it Donnie. The thing he said.
All right. What is the so? But who is this actor? I don't know who plays him.
Let me look. Do you want to know? I'm not. It's probably listed.
Why does he look so? Who is Bob? He was in this episode.
It's hold on. Do you want to know the actor's name who plays Abbott?
Yes.
Neil Sandilands.
I don't know who that is.
He's a South African actor.
Ah, does he really look like that?
I don't. There's no picture of him on Wikipedia.
Ah, he don't really look like that.
Oh, he was in the News of the World, that Tom Hanks movie that came out last year.
You know, I didn't see that.
Either. Oh no!
What?
Was he?
What?
He played the finger on the flag. Not like him at all.
Nuh-uh. Spell his
It's
name.
listed. Neil Neil Sandilands.
Oh yeah, if he shaves his beard, yep, I see it.
Man, it did not look like him at all. I did not recognize him.
No, not. You're like, he's a South African actor.
He is. He's a South African actor. It says
I
it
know,
on
but
Wikipedia.
it's just so funny to me that I go to Google and I type in his name. The first thing I see is the finger. John made it seem like this man was just.
I went from the Wikipedia page of Sweet Tooth.
Oh, okay.
So I just clicked on his name.
Wow. Yeah. He just looks.
He's such that guy from Spirited Away.
I know. Oh my god. Wait, he's gonna take off his coat. He's gonna have all these arms and he's a spider hybrid.
Spider-Man.
We are done. We're done.
I don't know. We got any feedback?
Shut up. No. So yeah, we are to believe by the end of this episode, right, that they found
Amy.
Her. They found her. By the end of the episode, right? And I feel like Donnie, I think you're onto something. I feel like they're gonna show up and she's gonna be like long gone because that was years ago.
Yeah, cool. And they're playing like like they still haven't told us where the sanctuary is, and we don't know where. Like it at first watch. I felt like everything was kind of in close proximity, but General Abbott in this where she's keeping everybody safe and all this. Who knows? It could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be in Colorado. It could be in a whole different state.
What the flyer say?
You had to listen to a radio station.
I was just gonna say, like I feel like it wouldn't. Yeah, they wouldn't put that
sanctuary.
But like where she was that was New York, right?
It was I don't know. Did they tell us that was supposed to be It was a big city, though.
That was like the Bronx Zoo.
Maybe I didn't notice.
I'm trying to think of like what other big cities have a zoo in their big city like that.
So Abbott could be in control of the U.S. He could be in D.C. for all we know.
Donald, I'm so hungry. Are you gonna feed me?
I don't know.
Yeah, you are. All right. So
Amy's story could have ended like before it began because she stood right in front of them fucking elephants, and I was like,
"Oh, I thought you were saying something else. Never mind."
What'd you think I was saying? Incest? Yeah, incest on the brain.
But she survived so long just to be trampled by elephants.
Yeah.
Listen, she did not react appropriately. Sorry.
She's just standing there. I was like, what the fuck?
Like, dude. Like, I do remember from the trailer that scene. And I legit thought like she was controlling those elephants in the trailer. Because she had like this horn looking thing in her hand. you blow.
And she's like, oh, I'm an elephant.
And she just like waves one arm in front of her face like it's her nose. Her trunk. I couldn't think of the word. I'm high. I couldn't think of the word.
You know, her nose, her
sniffer.
nose.
Her sniffer thing. Her coal. In
Her
Korean,
snout.
it's coal. What?
Her snout.
Her snout. Shut up. All right, we got feedback, and then we're done because this is ridiculous at this point. Hey, Kimberly. So she says episode 2 gives us a look at the post-pandemic world, a world where the resources are limited, but human ability to hate and destroy remains in full swing. We are the worst. We officially are the worst.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not liking the portrayal of the ferocious black beast whose redemption will be found in protecting a white character trope we are getting. Yeah, if he is also addicted to drugs, I'm not going to be happy, but at least Big Man gets a name. Tommy. No, that's not his name.
I'm calling him Tommy. I'm not calling him Big Man.
I swear to God, if I go through this feedback, Kimberly, and you're calling this man Tommy, that is your race traitor. Is what you are. All right. However, since Gus didn't hear his name, Big Man will undoubtedly... No! Gus knows it! He's calling him Jeps! Big Man will undoubtedly remain his moniker. What were those things we saw as Gus and Black Eye were leaving? She said it like they were Ewoks. She asked what were they, as if it wasn't like apparent they were people in masks, right? Because what was he doing or she doing when they showed? Was she like doing something with a weapon or something, or like looking?
I thought they were just looking up at the tram.
Anyway, okay, now we have a pig baby. That's such a beautiful sentence. Okay, now we have a pig baby. So that baby is absolutely adorable because that could actually look like a baby. Well, except for the when he asked him, what did he say? Are your ears? Do they feel soft or are they gross? Like a? Did he say pigs?
I think he said pig.
I think he said pig. Told you Rusty was an asshole.
He apologized for calling him weird.
Yeah, but also, did they apologize for running off that poor little goat girl or whatever it was? Bobcat girl? Do you remember that?
It's different.
Okay, yeah, John, is it different if it's a bobcat? Would you want to raise a bobcat kid? Those things are ferocious, by the way.
If it's my kid, yeah.
But you ain't Bobcat. He don't owe you shit. He can rip your throat out and sleep well that night, sir.
I mean, cats are cats.
They're assholes. So you don't want a really big, ferocious one that can kill you in your house. Can you imagine a fucking bobcat
teenager? Would you leave your cheetah baby on your counter?
I wouldn't let any cat on my fucking counter. And I will tell you one thing. I wouldn't let a dog lick me in the mouth either.
Oh, fuck you. That's what you think. That's what the fuck you think. That shit happens faster than you think, okay?
I've had dogs all my life. I do not let them lick me in the face.
Listen, this little baby wants to lick his mommy in the face. He gets to lick his mommy in the face. You mind your fucking business. Thank you very much.
I mean, okay. It's your face. It's not my problem. I just wouldn't do it.
Anyway, so she says for episode 3, despite my misgivings about the magical Did you mean to put another N in Negro? Because this is hilarious. Magical Negron. It's like a transformer. I love how John is afraid to laugh, but Donnie, as my husband, is like, I'm gonna laugh at that
I ain't into it.
Negron joke. But that does. I really hope that was I think it was a typo. Despite my misgivings about the magical Negro trope, now that big man, why doesn't he tell the boy his name is Tommy? Because it's not. Decided to take Gus with him. Stop calling him Gus. His name is Sweet Tooth.
Tommy and Gus.
Ew. Big man and Sweet Tooth. That sounds. I would buy that comic book.
Lone Wolf and Cub.
Anyway, he cannot allow anything to happen to that kid. Victoria, oh, I get it now. Victoria the hell out of Gus' hybrid situation in this episode. A woman pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman, only in hybrid form. You knew the plan wasn't going to work because kids don't listen. Especially this kid. When Tommy left Gus, the Fred Sanford voice is in my head. It was like, you big dummy. Speaking of which, how did Tommy think he could let Gus travel by himself? Yeah, there was
not
like
gonna work.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know why he's so bad at this sometimes and really good at this other times. Like, again, like Pubba, it's like, what are you thinking? And why are you thinking that way? Like, he was still really kind of shitty with him in a way that I just felt like, why don't you yet have compassion for him? That you're like, you know what's going to happen to him if you're not around. So, I don't know. Where was I? Luckily they're rescued by a bunch of kid gamers. It's a question mark. Perhaps Gus will finally have some friends.
It's like Twitch, but like, the pinky.
Jesus Christ.
I'm working on. I'm gonna work.
You know what? You know what? I felt bad about some of my jokes tonight. Now I don't.
Listen, just because I'm lazy doesn't mean there's nothing there. It's a good premise. There's something there.
Mm-hmm.
You make your own joke.
All right,
Bring your own joke.
I'm almost done. I need to go eat. Finally, I hated to see what life is like for humans post-pandemic. Unfortunately, this is probably the sanitized version of what would happen. She thinks it would be worse. Like, I don't know.
We'd all be fucking dead. Like, honestly.
Oh my God, will you stop saying that?
We would. All that would be left is the hybrids.
That would be the show. This is hybrid. It would be like cats, basically. Anyway, that's it. That's all we got. Thank you guys for listening. I am so sorry. This was so terrible.
This is great. What are you talking
about? We will be back 2 nights from now to talk about Loki episode 2, and we'll be on Clubhouse this weekend also to talk about that episode, and maybe John will join us if he's not, at the gym.
I mean, that's the thing. Always at the gym.
Out in these streets. He's fully vaxxed and ready to something.
See, not so funny now when you can't come up with a joke.
I hate you. Good night, everybody. Bye.